this year, like we said, just because E3 is dead doesn't mean game announcements aren't coming, right? June has historically been the time of year for such fun events that I know I love, and I think the rest of the crew loves as well. We're doing things a little differently this year, right? Instead of one episode where we make predictions on basically anything we want, the next 3 weeks leading up to Summer Games Fest, we are going to be going over each of the big three, Nintendo, Microsoft, and PlayStation, and giving our predictions on what we think each of them are going to show. Obviously, Microsoft is the only one who has announced a date yet, but this is the time of year, right? We assume these are coming. And this is the nice part about having little to no inside information. We're just going to shoot our shot and see how it lands. So I'm excited. I know the group is excited, and we're going to get into it here. So a couple of notes. We discussed the rules, and it sounds like we are going to do just a point per correct prediction, right? So we each have 3 predictions lined up, and then we may do a lightning round with 2 quick ones depending on time, right? No negative points for wrong answers. We want to spark creativity in this conversation here, but we're going to focus on Xbox this week. I don't know, did I miss anything in my ramblings? I think we covered it all. So
I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go.
So kicking us off, who do I want to pick? Let's go K-Star here. Let's kick off the inaugural 2022 video game announcement season, Xbox Bethesda showcase predictions. Yes. Let's do it. That's a mouthful.
I know. I don't know which one to go. I don't know if I want to go big or go with what I think is more likely. I'll go with something I think is really likely. Okay. I think The Outer Worlds 2, we're going to get a release date. Gonna get a trailer and a release date.
Starting big. Wow.
I mean, they need to have something that, has an actual release date on it. And I feel like we saw a good bit of Outer Worlds in that debut trailer they did. And I'm really stoked for that game. And I think they said the release date was they didn't give it a release date, but I feel like they were aiming for next year. So I could see them definitely finally just saying this is the date, and it really after the new trailer hits and we see a good chunk of gameplay, boom, release date.
You're starting off big. I like the big swings.
I didn't even think that was my big one. I have some ones that I feel are more long shots but hopeful ones.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I think. I'm gonna put a release date on it. And something for people to get excited about. I mean, that first game
it's great.
I loved it because it brought back those Mass Effect feelings and all that fun stuff. But I hope for the second game they can kind of create more of their own identity and, up it a little bit. I love the choices, by the way. So more of that, please. They did such a good job too with some of the characters, and keep that going.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. I think that was my game of the year for 2019. I love that game. I guess it makes sense, right? Because this will be in October. I think it'll be 3 years since that first one came out. Yep. So, obviously dev cycles all over the place now, but do you want to see if you can add a point to this by saying what you think the date is?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay. All right. Well, I wanted to see if you wanted to tempt fate here, but
I mean, if I'm not losing points, I'm going to go for then fall or winter
of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty. You have to pick one, fall or winter, if you want the point.
Fall.
Okay. Alrighty. And then I'm sure if they do announce it, we'll get into a whole debate on when fall starts and ends and when winter starts.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because winter really starts in Minnesota in August. So that could be winter at that point. So
I always consider November the start of winter.
Yeah.
For me, it's mid-December, whenever we get our first real good snowfall.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right. Well, cool. I like the hype already. I'm with this so far. John Carson.
Yes.
Keep it going. What's your next one here?
All right. So I feel like this is a holdover from last year's predictions that I think is still going to happen, but we didn't see it in the last year. So fingers crossed. that we are going to see a strategic partnership with a Japanese publisher for Microsoft, because I don't think they were going to like flat out buy any Japanese developers. It hasn't really been in their MO recently, but they are kind of missing some of that from their exclusivity slate. So something like a Sega or a Bandai Namco or something like that, that they'll have a decent Japanese exclusive partnership.
People keep saying Kojima, and I'm just like, he's so tied to Sony. I think Sony would lock that up before Microsoft, in my opinion, anyways. But like, the rumor, like fans always speculate, like, oh, is Microsoft are they gonna nab Kojima? Like, it would be huge. I don't think Kojima comes that cheap either. I mean, Microsoft's proven they have money, but I mean, like, that's a big. And I don't know if he would want to be tied to, a big company outside of what he's done with Sony, just because, he had to deal with Konami for all that time. And I think he likes his creative freedom, but yeah.
Which is at least a public staple of Xbox game studios now, is especially if you look at like something like Psychonauts 2, right, where they really let Tim and the crew create on that one. They could be promising that because they know how much of an auteur he is. I've heard that rumor. I've also heard Sega a lot.
Yeah, I've heard
I feel
Sega
like over the
a
last
lot.
couple of years. So
that'd be
interesting,
weird, wouldn't
right?
it?
Sonic the Hedgehog exclusively on Xbox.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, as the Dreamcast continues to wither away in our minds and spirits. So interesting. Do you want to? I'll give you another opportunity for another point here, John. Do you want to say which publisher it is? Or
I'm going with Sega. I think
you're going with Sega.
Yeah.
Okay.
My heart says Sega. They have a lot of irons in the fire right now, and I think that'd be probably a good time. Like if now was the time to announce that kind of partnership, it would be like, hey, we've got these like Crazy Taxi revivals and like new Yakuza's coming out, and you could play all those on.
That means they
Game
own
Pass.
Atlas.
Yeah, or at least have a partnership with Atlas. I don't think they're gonna straight up buy Sega,
them out.
But I mean, there's with Sega, so.
Yeah.
Persona Xbox.
Persona 5 on Xbox. I mean, like that would be huge, right?
Yeah,
That's a whole new audience right there. Like, especially if you throw that on Game Pass, like that, or like Persona 4, like, there's a lot of stuff that they could do with that. So very interesting.
Absolutely.
I like we're starting this off strong. I like this. So okay. All right. So, and you both have a shot at some extra points here, which is good. Alex Van Aken.
Hello.
Hit me with one. Let's get it popping. Come on.
Listen, Xbox. We know a lot of the games in the works. It's going to be hard to surprise us this year, I think, I think this is one of the years where we're going to get one of those platform announcements. It's going to get, a subsect of gamers really happy. I think Xbox is going to continue to double down on Xbox PC Game Pass. And I think they're going to announce official Xbox Game Pass PC support for the Steam Deck.
You took mine, you son of a that's a great one. I literally have 3 tabs up of Steam Deck stuff from Xbox.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's a really great one, and I have to censor myself. Yeah, keep going on that. I won't steal your thunder on this.
No, I mean that's my prediction. I think I think Xbox is really playing up the. We're here to play nice with all the platforms. Like we're celebrating games, not platforms. And I think Xbox Game Pass PC makes sense for Valve as well. I think it's like, at first I was kind of leaning like xCloud support, but I just think it's all too experimental, I think. Well, yeah, and you could technically do it already.
Right. xCloud is their Microsoft supported, by the way. Like they've set up a tutorial on how to access that, but it is just streaming.
Yeah. But I was like, well, Xbox, like how would they go about, like, I was thinking like, oh, maybe they could announce like all of their first party games will be Steam Deck verified when they launch, that kind of thing. But I was like, I feel like they would go bigger if they're going to do something with Steam Deck. and announce like official, some sort of official support for Game Pass PC.
Right.
Would it
And kind of
be-
solidifying a relationship with Valve. What's up?
like Microsoft has been releasing their first party games on Steam for quite a while now.
Correct.
Would
Yeah.
you see an expansion of their first party Game Pass offerings being available on Steam and then on Steam Deck?
Yeah,
like
the
logging
integration is
into
complicated. Like how would
Microsoft accounts or something, like some sort of a linkage there.
Yeah, the integration would be that's like I almost didn't say this prediction because it would be like a logistical. I feel like it would be a logistical nightmare just with how Steam Deck operates and how it's like if you want to turn it into a Windows machine, you essentially have to jump through a lot of hoops to do that. So I was like, well, would they do an actual Steam app for Game Pass PC, which I think is possible. I could see a world where like you log into like an actual app on Steam that kind of routes you into Game Pass. I don't know how they would do it.
Well,
Um,
okay. So what is your actual prediction? Just so we know.
my actual prediction is just Xbox will announce official Game Pass PC support for the Steam Deck.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because right now the only games that are verified on Steam Deck for Microsoft are Max Curse of the Brotherhood, Battletoads, Hellblade 1, Psychonauts 2, Fable Anniversary, Halo Wars Definitive Edition, Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, Killer Instinct, Kalimba, which I'm not sure what that one is, Halo Spartan Strike, and Rush, a Disney Pixar adventure. Don't know what that one
So
is.
Halo Infinite's not even verified yet, right?
Right. And there are playable games like Minecraft Dungeons, Gears Tactics, Deadlight, Halo, Spartan Assault, Sea of Thieves, Forza 5, Horizon 5, Quantum Break, and State of Decay. So it's like there is a good selection on there, but you're missing a lot of bangers on there right now.
Yeah.
So I think, especially because it feels like it's the meme of the guy with his girlfriend staring at the girl walking away, where it's like
I hate that meme so much.
but it does feel like Xbox has been like playing nice with Switch, putting like
Mhm.
Cuphead and Ori on it. I think the prediction for a while was like, okay, we're gonna Game Pass on Switch. And now Steam Deck's here. It can actually run some of those games like Halo, right? And now it's like, ooh, like, what's up, girl? How you doing? So
Yeah.
I love that prediction. I think we'll get I think minimally we will get like you've been asking for it. Halo Infinite, MCC, all these like the anti-cheat is figured out. It's going to be on Steam Deck like today or next week or something like that. So that's good.
Yeah, I think that'd be huge for the PC audience. And I think they would try to take it a step further and do something, out of left field like, hey, Game Pass PC, we figured it out on Steam Deck. Valve, and then it'll be the Valve X Xbox,
Right.
image. They're
Yeah.
playing nice together, I think it would do a lot for Valve in terms of selling more Steam Deck. Not that they're like having issues with orders, but like I think it would just like really kind of keep pushing that hardware to a much bigger spotlight for them if they've had some sort of like official Xbox support in that way. So that's my prediction.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Great minds think alike. I'm gonna go with the softball here for my first one. Little thing called Game Pass, as you know, Microsoft's main focus, at least right now, while the game season is low. It's been a quiet year for Game Pass overall, I would say. I think did Guardians come to Game Pass this year, or was that last year?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like there hasn't been a lot of bangers on Game Pass, and that may just be due to the fact that, there's not a lot out right now, right? Like Xbox doesn't have a lot out, like that
not
kind
a lot
of
of
stuff.
AAA stuff.
Yeah. But I do think one of the big additions that they will announce for Game Pass this year is Gotham Knights. I think
Okay.
that'll be day one on Game Pass. There's a little bit of precedent with Back 4 Blood was a Warner Brothers game as well that was on Game Pass day one. I think this is a little harder because it's DC, right? You're dealing with the licensing a little bit more so than Back 4 Blood, which was a new IP from Turtle Rock. But they convinced Marvel and Square to do it with Guardians. I think that would be a great place for Gotham Knights, especially if the reception is mixed to that game, which it has been, right, so far critically and timeline wise, people are very up or down on it. Obviously, it's DC, so it's going to sell. But if you want to have that extra boost in there, I feel like Game Pass makes makes sense and makes this a good fit. The only worry I have with my prediction is I think some of the marketing has been tied to PlayStation. I could be wrong though, but that didn't stop. What was the game I was going to use an example? I think Guardians was also like a Sony marketed beast as well. So I don't know how those interact or whatnot, but I think Gotham Knights fits here. I think it's like AAA, right? It's a bigger game, but it's not on the scale of like Elden Ring or something like that. So that's my prediction to kick things off here. Do we want to just go normal rotation, or do we want to do snakes? So it's like, Alex, it'd be your turn, or I guess I would go again. Let's start at the top here. Kim, what's your next one?
All right, I'm gonna go big here. Understand, Bethesda's coming off delaying Redfall, Starfield. They need to get some goodwill going. I'm thinking Elder Scrolls 6 makes a big appearance this year.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going big here. Here's the thing. This is a Microsoft. Well, Microsoft will have like a showcase thing, and my guess is, I mean, Phil Spencer has heavily hinted that, if not all but kind of confirmed, that Elder Scrolls 6 will be Xbox and PC and exclusive. And so I think they're like, hey, this is our showcase. We want to open with something big or end with something big. Let's finally give them more than, environments and what we've seen so far. And I think this will get people excited. I don't think it'll have like a release date or window on it, but I think they will give us a trailer of some sort, and it will be the big talking thing of this year.
Okay.
I want it. Maybe that's more of a hope, but
yeah. I am so excited you said that, because that has to do with a prediction I will make later. So thank you for bringing that up.
That it will not?
I don't want to spoil anything, chat or viewers. Just, bear with us and I'll get to it. I promise. So,
okay.
Wow. Elder Scrolls 6, huh? Okay. All right.
I need it.
That's big.
I need it in my bones.
I mean, talk about a way to win the summer. That would be one of the ways.
That's what I'm saying. They have to, like, I'm just thinking, like, what would be something that would, like, just, because it's always about what opens the show, what ends the show, and what would get people talking. That would be it.
Yeah. Well, alrighty. There we go. She's on the board. John Carson, what do you got? Let's keep it going.
I'm looking at another company that's under the Microsoft umbrella, but I don't necessarily think it'll be something from them, just something that used to be by them. And that is, I think we'll see the return of a classic Rare franchise at whatever this presentation is. I believe Rare's been working on Everwild for years now, and might not have, and Sea of Thieves, but might not have the bandwidth to work on any of their other stuff. So maybe we'll see something. Oh, also, it's something that hasn't been announced yet. So Fable and Everwild won't count towards this.
So wait, so you're just predicting Rare will have a new game?
There will be a new game that was a Rare franchise, but probably made by somebody else. So a Killer Instinct, a Banjo-Kazooie.
I want you to be more specific than
Don't
that.
be a coward. Say it. Viva Pinata 3.
Oh yeah, that'll be Viva Pinata Battle Royale. I mean, I think that's pretty specific. Like, those are some of the bigger names that old school gamers will get excited for.
Right.
But like I said, like, the Rare of today isn't going to be making some of those games again. So if we want to do bonus points for everything, I think I'm going to go with a Banjo.
Yeah, that's what
Banjo.
That feels good.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. I guess I'll give it. I'm feeling generous today. I'll give it to you.
Great.
Yeah. Alrighty. VA, what do you got?
Okay, I have an opportunity for bonus points in this thing, if that's cool.
Yeah.
Because I haven't claimed that yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my prediction is Stalker 2 is back on stage with an on-stage demo, an updated release date,
Not
pushed to
December?
2023, not
Okay.
December.
Okay.
And an update about their team's health amidst the Ukraine invasion. Bonus points. They're going to announce a Ukraine charity fund tied to pre-orders of Stalker 2.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay. That would be amazing.
You really thought that through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. That is detailed. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Are
They
you
should
excited?
take that.
You excited for Stalker 2?
I am very much. It's one of my more anticipated games.
Okay.
I haven't played the first one, but what we saw last year, year before,
Yeah,
whenever it was, yeah, it just really grabbed me.
Okay.
Looks like a game, and they said the keyword immersive sim elements, and I was like, what you got there?
What are you buying? What are you selling?
What you
Okay.
selling, bud?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thing. I think they kind of had that NFT thing, but then they walked it back very quickly.
Right.
I think that was early on in the NFT stuff as well, and I think they got some goodwill back by like cancel. They were one of the first people to be like, all right, never mind, we're not gonna do this.
Yeah.
And so I think like they kind of, they were one of the teams that that were kind of in the spotlight when, Ukraine was more in the spotlight in American journalism, at least. And yeah, I think like people want to know what's going on with that team, even just like health wise. I know like they believe they all had all evacuated, and I think they come out on stage again. Xbox invites them out. And yeah, we get a deeper look at the game and a deeper look at the team.
Okay.
So yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that's a good one. That would be one that would be feel good to get a point on. I was gonna save this for my rapid fire round, but Kim forced my hand, so here we go. This is a 3-team parlay here, right? And for you unfamiliar with gambling terms, parlay is usually when you bet on more than one team to win, right? So to get the full point, I need to hit all 3 of these.
Okay.
Because
Let's hear it.
saying there's no mention of something boring, right? We've all done that. We can all say
Yeah.
there's not going to be a mention of Halo Infinite 2. Duh. Okay. So this year there will be no mention of Elder Scrolls 6, Indiana Jones, or Perfect Dark. All 3 games will be completely absent from the stage this year.
Even if they just like say the word, any of those 3 words.
No, like, okay, if they say them, that doesn't count. Like literally like some sort of presentation.
I think they will 100% say Perfect Dark, but I
see they have been, it sounds like there's been a lot of development trouble.
Yeah,
with,
they have not talked about it at all, and I could see it totally getting like we're sweeping this under the rug for another year.
Well,
right.
And what's the situation with Crystal Dynamics now being like they were announced to be a part of the development team now, but now they're being purchased by Embracer.
Yep.
So what is their role on that game now?
And they have, I think I saw a tweet that said they're still supporting the game. I think that contract still stays the same, but I feel like they have a lot to work out, especially with the development trouble internally and now what to do with, or, what's going on with CD, right? So it's like, I think they just, that game is probably 2025, 2024, right? So it's like, I think they stay far away from that. Indiana Jones, I think they just got that license. What they announced LucasArts being back last year, right? And all we got was a little CG, barely like, hat and a whip. So I think it's far too early for that yet. And I think this show especially is going to be so focused on at least the Bethesda side of it. I think it's going to be almost exclusively focused on Redfall and I almost said Titanfall. Wishful thinking, Alex.
Yeah,
Starfield. I think those are
wish.
going to be the big 2 for Bethesda. So, and this is one where I hope I'm wrong because I'm excited for all 3 games in different measures, right? But I think we're too early on all 3 of those, and I think they're going to be more focused on some of the other games that we'll talk about and have already talked about. So those are my all 3 of those have to be not shown for me to get the full point. So there you go. Sorry to dash your dreams, Kim. I don't mean to. It's not something I take pleasure in,
Mm-hmm. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. K-Star. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So it's been a while since we've heard from InXile Entertainment. They make the Wasteland series. So Wasteland 3 recently came out and was good. But one of the things, I think we're going to see one of their unannounced games, because they've been working on a project codenamed Cobalt. And that's kind of rumored to be like this steampunk themed RPG. And now that, Microsoft owns them, I would think they would put that up as an Xbox exclusive and give us kind of our first look at it.
Cool. I don't have any pithy remarks for you. I think that's a good prediction that that is out of my wheelhouse. So if anyone has one, now would be the time. Moving on. Okay. All right. John.
I'm boring there, but
no, but I mean,
that's a strong possibility.
Yeah, definitely. John, how about you?
Yeah, so this is a Microsoft and Bethesda showcase.
Correct.
There's a lot of stuff that has come out of Bethesda recently, or is very much like publicly delayed. The only developer I could think of that may have something there is going to be Machine Games. I think we see the return of Wolfenstein.
Yes.
Whoa.
I'd love it. I would love it so
I
much.
love that. Yeah.
I don't think Youngblood was received all that well. They need to bounce back from that and kind of reestablish Wolfenstein as this just nutso awesome first-person shooter franchise. And with I mean, I hate to say it, Halo's kind of wavering a little bit. I think they need another strong shooter on the platform, and Machine Games has been killing it for the mainline Wolfenstein titles. I think now's the time for them to speak up on what's next. What comes before Youngblood? What comes after Wolfenstein 2? Let's get BJ back in the spotlight.
Would you be happy if it's not BJ, or if it was just Wolfenstein, like just that world?
No, it has to be a continuation.
Mr. Blazkowicz? Okay.
Yeah, it has to be a continuation of that series.
Yeah, I think. Is it fair to call those games underrated at this point?
No, they got their due.
I think 2 really got there for them.
Really did. Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel like when we talk about best shooter campaigns, like Titanfall 2 comes up a lot, like some of the Halos, right? But like,
I bring up Wolfenstein. I loved it.
Yeah. Those games are buck wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I want that one I hope you just manifested that, John, because I really want that.
I mean, like looking at the list, Tango just released their game. Deathloop just came out. Elder Scrolls and is it Redfall just were delayed. Like there are so many things that that have either just been released or have been delayed. And
you mean Starfield?
That makes sense to if they're co-branding it Xbox and Bethesda, there has to be something big from Bethesda there. That's not like we're doing a Doom thing again. I don't know. You could play it on your watch. I think you can actually, but it has to be something significant, and I think that's the thing that makes the most sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Cool. I like it. Alex Van Aken. Take another one of mine. I dare you.
Todd Howard is weirdly going to make a big deal about Starfield being a single player game. No games as service, no loop. It's going to feel like weirdly archaic, but like yeah, we needed to hear this, I guess. And he's going to overemphasize this point of it being a single player game and like somehow make light of like Fallout 76 awkwardly at some point on his time during stage.
So does all of that need to happen?
For that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give him 2 points for that.
Like
he can get it if he awkwardly a point for the awkward mention and then the single player emphasis.
Yeah. Is it like, do we as a panel get to decide if he overdid it? Do we get to, or if he just says it? Does that count?
I think if he just says it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
The overemphasis is just like if he says it, he's automatically overemphasizing it by even like we all know it's a single player game, but he's going to like make it weirdly known.
Fun
no
fact.
microtransactions.
Yeah, It's gonna be like, okay, we didn't think there were gonna be, but like yeah.
Right.
He's gonna mention I think if he's like Starfield is a single player RPG, that doesn't count. But if he's like, this is single player, like
Yeah.
something like, I don't know, it has
Yeah.
to like
No
be a point.
microtransactions, no games of service. We
Not
value,
connected to the
we save
metaverse.
single player. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like that level.
It's gonna
of-
be
yeah.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my
Oh.
third prediction.
That's wacky, and I like it.
I just feel like this is the year where like we're gonna get a fun Todd Howard moment.
Yeah. What if it's
yeah.
Pete Hines who does it? Who
Okay.
overemphasized it?
Okay.
Do we give him a half point?
Well, can I just change my prediction to Todd Howard or Pete Hines?
No, it's got to be one of the
I
other.
think it's Todd Howard. I think it's Todd
Okay.
Howard.
I'll
All
give
right.
you half points for Pete Hines.
I'll
Though.
give
It's
you-
basically interchangeable at that point.
I'll give
Okay.
Pete Hines 50 points because I love that man. Okay, I like that, Alex. You're thinking outside the box here. I think we're doing good on time, so we are going to do our quick rapid fire ones.
Cool.
But I'm debating. Okay, let's because this will be the end of round 3 for all of us, right? When I do mine.
Yeah, when you
correct.
do
Yeah.
yours, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's do this. This is one I'm very hopeful for. Halo has gotten a lot of time in the sun lately,
Yeah.
reasonably so, right? You know, a lot of celebrating the legacy of that series, right? You know, put them on the map a lot with the Xbox. It's a certain game that put the 360 on the map, and I think is woefully disrespected in the year of our Lord 2022, and that is Gears of War.
Disrespected.
Oh yeah, the hate I see around 4 and 5, including from my dear coworker.
I have a counter to this for
coworker
my
here.
fast lightning round, so
Okay.
I'm happy.
No, I wasn't
We're
hate. I just
countering
said I
each
lost
other.
interest.
Yeah, which is fair, but I also think 4 and 5 are two of the best campaigns,
I'm planning to go back and play through them.
and I would co-op them with you.
Let me tell you, like Gears of War at one point, like I said, it was my favorite game of all time. Like,
yeah,
I love the first 3 games.
right.
They just lost me on 4 and 5.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, especially how 5 ends, like, oh, so good. So,
All right.
my prediction is there is some sort of Gears celebration. Is it a remake of 2? Is it a collection? Is it the Gears
Okay.
collection similar to the Master Chief? I'm not willing to say that, but there's going to be some sort of thing with Gears to celebrate its past.
Yep. I
My
think
bo-
that's possible.
My bonus point, it ends with the Gears 6 tease.
Ooh,
They
All
say
right.
it's
spicy.
it may not be anything more than Kate with the chainsaw giving a little bit of exposition, right? It may just be a total CG tease, but they will and they will say it's in Unreal Engine 5, which I think they've already said, but like that's such a big deal right now that they will reemphasize that it will be in Unreal Engine 5. But that's not Gears 6 is
So what
the
happens
bonus
if
point.
your bonus point comes true, but the other half doesn't?
Oh, that's a good question.
Wow.
I don't know what happens.
2-pointer. It's
Is it
like
2 okay.
Yeah, I think like we'll give you 2 points on that.
Okay.
I like
like
how I'm
that.
just deciding all this.
I mean, if anyone's against, speak now.
No,
I-
I think if
I
you
took
get that right,
point
it's
on it.
2. That's a
Okay.
big prediction.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because like I really I think it's time. Like Gears Tactics was a great game, right? The Gears 4 and 5 have been great. I do think these games they're gonna get their shine now that like Halo kind of had its moment being back, and Halo is a whole nother beast, right? But Gears 6, it's time. And I'm very curious to see, without getting too into spoilers, I have predictions about what I want for Gears 6, but maybe that's for another time. But I'm curious to see how they move on after the ending that happened in Gears 5. So that would be amazing. So those are our big 3, right? Those are the big 3 for Xbox. Let's go. You're going to say both of your predictions in quick succession. You can give a little reasoning why. We'll make fun of you a little bit here and there, right? But like it should be good. Kim, give us your next 2, and then we'll get going.
To kind of piggyback off Gears Developer Coalition are working on a brand new IP, which is reportedly a smaller like Unreal Engine 5 title.
Oh,
It has a rumored release date of 2023. So I could see them showing off whatever that is this year.
okay. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Coalition's
Yeah.
great. So I'd be excited to see whatever they have going. So that's a good one.
And this is my long shot last one. That Fable reboot, they'll reintroduce it somehow beyond that CGI trailer that we got. Just to get people talking. It won't be much, but they'll get people talking again.
Okay. Interesting.
I think it's a long shot, like I said, but if we're gonna go 5, there you go.
There we go. Okay. I like it. John Carson.
Kim just took one of mine, so give me 1 second. All right, so the first thing is sticking on the Bethesda point. I think the PlayStation exclusive Bethesda games are going to be coming to Xbox. So Ghostwire and Deathloop
That's a good one.
are going to be making their way to Xbox consoles.
That's really good.
The other one, man, that I was gonna say the same thing about Fable. But this seems like a long shot.
Shoot that shot.
And I know that you said things not showing up is not a great prediction, but given how consistent it's been, I think this is. I don't think that we're going to see a Forza at this.
Oh, so not
showcase.
even because it's 7. It's Motorsport 7's turn now because we got
Motorsport,
right?
8's turn.
Or is it 8?
8.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we went two Horizons in a row.
Right.
So I feel like that's maybe going to be held back a little bit, especially with the drama around. I mean, there's the drama around Gran Turismo and all of like how expensive it is to play that game and the support behind it. It's either going to be a moment to like plant Microsoft's flag in the ground for simulation racing, or they're holding it back to reevaluate things with their franchise. But
okay,
I'm leaning towards the latter.
Okay,
so but you're not going to show.
All right, that's your prediction. We're locking that in.
Yep.
Okay. That's pretty bold. Like I do like that though. And I feel like at least pop culture wise, Horizon has taken a lot of the shine from Motorsport, but we are due for one. So I'm curious, and maybe that feels like. Is this wrong of me to say? I feel like the European audience really enjoys the Motorsport series, where I feel like Horizon's more of a Western.
I think you're going to say versus Gran Turismo. I'm like, we've heard.
I've heard enough from the Gran Turismo fans. All right, go play your game. It's out now. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Alex Van Aken, give us 2 here.
The Last Night makes its return.
Wow. I was thinking about this one and I was like, nah, I'm not going to go there. And this man did it. He's the brave one.
Yeah, it's been a while. There's also like some not great stuff with one of the developers behind the game. I think enough time has passed that it's going to make its return in some form. I don't know what form, but The Last Night will be here. Whether it's in a sizzle reel, just letting us know it's still around, or something more deep. But yeah, The Last Night makes its return. And then I don't know how to measure this, so maybe I shouldn't do this prediction. But we're going to get Redfall gameplay, and it's going to be the highlight of the show. Ooh. I think that's like not, we can't judge that. So I'm going to say we're going to get Redfall gameplay and a release date of spring 2023.
That's good. That's very good. I think, but wait, hold on. Did they say that already? Someone look up that tweet.
Didn't they say the release thing?
If they did, I'm going to force you to say a month.
Okay.
All right, let me see.
Because I feel like it is.
What? No, that got pushed back, didn't it?
Because I feel like Redfall gameplay is a slam dunk. So if you can like add in the release month, I think
first half of 2023. They said.
Okay. Do we give them spring then, or do we make them say a date, or do we make them say a month?
Month.
I say month. Month.
Or could I say no release date?
I mean, you could.
Can you say this side of the fiscal year or the other side? Because the first half is, I mean, you have until March or you have after March. Do they hit their when it's going to make the money for this year?
They have to be announcing a release date. Come on now. It's
okay,
like,
yeah, all right.
I mean, they put such a.
Can I say before or after March? Or do y'all want a month? Yeah, okay.
Month.
February 2023.
Month. Oh, he said it. February. Okay. Okay. This is not connected to your prediction, but then when do you think Starfield's coming?
Like June.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see
That
that.
feels good. Yeah, I'm with that. This is its last E3 technically, but we get into yeah, I can see that. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna round us out here.
What you got? What you got?
So tell me, this is. I think this is a Fable prediction, but it's different from Kim's, so I think it stands. But if you guys say boo, then you say boo. Fable. Not only will Fable be here, it'll be the one last thing, and we get gameplay. Not saying a date, not saying anything like that, but Fable.
Close to me. But...
I feel it's like that's why I asked, right? It's like it's close, but it's.
I think if you say
antithesis.
it is the one last thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
If
and
it
if
is
it's
the
anywhere
one last
else,
thing.
if it's anywhere else, you don't get a point.
I don't get the point.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll do that.
Yeah, because I think it is.
So your prediction becomes Fable is the one last thing.
Fable is one last thing.
Yep.
Yes, that is my prediction. Because I think we start with Starfield. That's
Do
what
they have to say the words
for.
"one last thing"?
If it is the last thing we see in the show before the "thank you for watching" thing, then it counts. I think that we start with Starfield. We mix in some Microsoft games. We maybe get like an Avowed update, right? We do the middle of Redfall, and then we end with the Gears 6 tease, and then it's like, oh, one more thing, and then we get Fable gameplay. That's my vision of the structure of this show. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but that doesn't count in my prediction. It's just that Fable is the one last thing. And then finally, obviously, it wouldn't be a GI show with Alex if we didn't talk about Halo a little bit. They have said Halo Infinite is a platform, and whilst they have had a hell of a time with the multiplayer suite, they assure fans that single player fans are going to be in luck early next year because we're going to get single player DLC. Because they've said Halo is a platform not just for multiplayer but for single player as well. And there's a ton of stories you can tell in the ring, and I think they want to support that game for a long time. So Fable or Halo single player DLC announced.
Quick question: is it a platform for co-op?
John, you have to work cooperatively to win Capture the Flag, John. Everyone knows that.
That's fair. Yes, there are.
So you're saying single player DLC, which
DLC.
Is not co-op. That is separate from co-op.
Yeah, it could have co-op, it could not have it.
And
like,
that's separate from Forge, obviously.
Right. Yes, Forge and co-op, because I think they're going to announce the hard dates for that anyways on this. But I'm saying like single player fans will continue to come back because we are telling the story of what the Arbiter is doing during Infinite, what Chief's last moments were before. Like, yeah,
everyone's on the ring.
What if Forge has a single player mission builder?
No, made by 343. Like an official canonized story featuring they have so many characters in Infinite at this point that they haven't touched on.
Let's get deeper. So. Let's get more specific. Who's the single player DLC?
I mean, this could be
who's
my bonus
girl
points.
from Halo TV series?
No, Make or Quan will not be featured.
How dare you bring up the Halo TV series?
Helmet
Man's trying to make me mad. Look at this man taking my picks and then making me mad about the Halo show. You didn't even watch it, man. You ducked out.
My dad was in the hospital.
No,
Alex.
he didn't.
He had a liver transplant, bud. I'm sorry that inconvenienced the show.
The likely excuse. I think this will be my bonus point. Co-op will be a focus because it'll be a blue team story about Chief's squad, what they did with Chief out of the picture, and how they reacted to being on the Zeta Halo and stuff like that. Because then you can add more, you can add the co-op elements, right? You can keep it, if you want to tell maybe something a little bit more linear, right? You can have them on the ship as it's going down onto Zeta, right? And you can have some of those older weapons like that. Maybe that's how you reintroduce the old shotgun or some of the UNSC weapons that aren't there. Don't you dare put that DMR back in. I'm just telling you right now, like, do not put that back in the game. I will not come back. Yeah, I think that's my bonus point if it's focused on blue team. Because I
think that's a good bonus point.
Yeah, no one likes Locke. I think there's some interesting stuff you could do with Buck in like an ODST type of way. You can make it a little bit more his survival, right? But there's some interesting stuff you could do with Zeta Halo stuff and the characters there. So that's it, folks. We did it. The first predictions episode of 2022. And let me say, y'all brought your A games here. We laughed, we cried, was a beautiful thing.